Hey, beloved child of God, you can rest now. If the darkness feels heavy tonight, if worry has been your companion, or if fear has whispered lies into your weary heart, this moment was created just for you. Tonight, we're going to walk through the most powerful psalm of protection ever written, one verse at a time, slowly and gently, allowing God's promises to wash over your spirit like healing waters. You know, there's something sacred about the nighttime hours. When the world grows quiet and shadows lengthen, our minds often become the loudest place of all. It's in these moments that anxiety finds its voice, speaking doubts and fears that seem so much larger in the darkness. But tonight, we're going to replace every whisper of worry with the unshakable truth of God's Word. Psalm 91 has been called the soldier's psalm, the traveler's psalm, the psalm of protection. For thousands of years, God's people have turned to these verses when they needed to feel safe, secure, and surrounded by divine love. Tonight, these ancient words will become your shields, your comfort, and your peace. Before we begin, I want you to find a comfortable place where you can truly rest. Whether you're lying in bed, sitting in your favorite chair, or finding a quiet corner away from the noise of the day, let your body settle. Take a deep breath in through your nose, hold it for just a moment, and then release it slowly through your mouth. Feel your shoulders drop, feel the tension leaving your body, and know that you are exactly where you need to be. Let's pray together. Father, as we open your word tonight, we come not with perfect faith, but with hearts that need your peace. Some of us are carrying burdens too heavy for our souls. Some of us are facing tomorrow with uncertainty. Some of us simply need to know that we are not alone in the darkness. Meet us here, Lord. Let every word from this psalm settle deep into our hearts like seeds of hope. Guard our minds as we sleep, protect our spirits as we rest, and remind us that your love surrounds us always. In Jesus' precious name, amen. Now, let's turn our hearts to Psalm 91, and let's begin with the very first verse. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. Notice how this verse doesn't say might rest or could rest, but will rest. This is not a suggestion or a possibility. This is God's promise to you. When you choose to dwell in His shelter, when you make the conscious decision to run to Him instead of running away, rest becomes your inheritance. The word dwell here means more than just a quick visit. It means to remain, to abide, to make your home. Think about the difference between staying at a hotel and living in your own house. When you're in a hotel, you're always a little on edge, always aware that this is temporary. But when you're home, you can truly rest. You can let your guard down because you know you belong there. God is inviting you to make your home in His presence, not just when life is good, not just on Sundays, but especially in the moments when everything feels uncertain. His shelter isn't a flimsy tent that might blow away in the storm. It's the shelter of the Most High God, the Creator of heaven and earth, the one who holds all things together by the power of His word. And notice the beautiful imagery of resting in the shadow of the Almighty. A shadow provides coolness when the sun is too hot, protection when the elements are harsh. But this isn't just any shadow. This is the shadow of the Almighty, cast by His very presence over your life. Just as a parent's shadow falls protectively over their child, God's presence creates a place of safety around you. The second verse continues this beautiful declaration of trust. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. This verse shifts from the third person to the first person. It's one thing to acknowledge that God provides shelter for people in general, but it's another thing entirely to make it personal, to say, He is my refuge, He is my fortress, He is my God. The word refuge speaks of a place you run to when you're in danger. It's a safe harbor in the storm, a hiding place when enemies pursue you. In ancient times, cities of refuge were established as places where people could flee for protection. God Himself becomes your city of refuge, your safe place in a world that often feels unsafe. The word fortress paints the picture of an impenetrable stronghold, walls so thick and high that no enemy can breach them. When you're inside a fortress, you don't have to wonder if you're protected. The very structure around you declares your safety. God doesn't just offer you protection, He becomes your protection. He doesn't just give you a fortress to run to, He becomes your fortress. And then comes that phrase that changes everything. My God, in whom I trust. Trust is what transforms these beautiful metaphors into living reality in your heart. It's one thing to know about God's protection intellectually, but trust is what allows you to actually experience that protection emotionally and spiritually. Trust doesn't mean you'll never feel afraid. Trust means that when fear comes knocking, you know where to turn. Trust means that even when circumstances look overwhelming, you have an anchor that holds firm. Trust means that you can close your eyes tonight and rest, not because everything in your life is perfect, but because you know who holds your life in His hands. Verse 3 brings us to one of the most beautiful promises in all of Scripture. Surely He will save you from the fowler's snare and from the deadly pestilence. The word surely here carries the weight of absolute certainty. This isn't wishful thinking or positive affirmations. This is God's guarantee to those who dwell in His shelter. The fowler's snare refers to the hidden traps that hunters would set to catch birds. These snares were designed to be invisible until it was too late. The bird would be walking along, searching for food, completely unaware of the danger, until suddenly it was trapped. How many times in life do we face situations like this? Hidden dangers we never saw coming, traps set by circumstances, or people who wish us harm, snares that seem to appear out of nowhere, but God promises to save you from these hidden traps. He sees what you cannot see. He knows about the dangers before they manifest. His protection isn't reactive, but proactive. He's not scrambling to help you after you fall into trouble. He's already working to deliver you before the trouble even reaches you. The deadly pestilence speaks of diseases, plagues, or any force that brings destruction. In our modern world, this might be illness, addiction, depression, or any number of things that threaten to destroy our peace, our health, or our hope. God's protection extends to every area of your life, every threat you face, every enemy that rises against you. The fourth verse gives us one of the most tender and beautiful images of God's care. He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and rampart. Here we see God portrayed not as a distant deity, but as a loving bird protecting her young. Have you ever watched a mother hen with her chicks? When danger approaches, she doesn't hesitate for even a moment. She spreads her wings wide, calling her babies to safety underneath her protective covering. The chicks don't have to fight the predator. They don't have to figure out how to protect themselves. They simply run to their mother and let her covering become their protection. This is the picture God paints of His care for you. When the storms of life approach, when threats loom large, when you feel vulnerable and exposed, you can run to Him and find covering under His wings. His feathers represent the gentleness of His protection, the tenderness with which He shields you from harm. And then we see that His faithfulness becomes your shield and rampart. A shield is something a warrior carries into battle for protection. A rampart is a defensive wall around a city. But notice that you don't have to carry the shield yourself or build the wall with your own hands. God's faithfulness becomes these things for you. His faithfulness means that His love for you never changes. His commitment to your well-being never wavers. His promises never fail. Even when you're not faithful, He remains faithful. Even when you forget to trust, His trustworthiness remains constant. Even when you feel weak, His strength surrounds you like an impenetrable wall. As we move into verse 5, we encounter a promise that speaks directly to our nighttime fears. You will not fear the terror of night, nor the arrow that flies by day. Night has always been associated with fear, hasn't it? When darkness falls, our imaginations often run wild. The same thoughts that seem manageable in daylight can feel overwhelming in the dark hours. But God specifically addresses the terror of night. He knows that this is when we feel most vulnerable, most alone, most afraid. He knows that 3 a.m. can feel like the loneliest hour in the world. He knows that lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, your mind racing with worries about tomorrow or regrets about yesterday, can feel like its own form of torment. The promise, "You will not fear," isn't suggesting that fearful thoughts will never come to your mind. Rather, it's declaring that fear will not have dominion over you. Fear may knock on the door of your heart, but it will not be allowed to take up residence there. When terror tries to whisper lies in the darkness, God's truth will speak louder. The arrow that flies by day represents the obvious attacks, the challenges you can see coming. Sometimes we face threats that are right out in the open, problems that announce themselves clearly. Financial pressures, relationship struggles, health concerns, work difficulties. These are the arrows we can see approaching, and while they may cause us concern, God promises that even these visible challenges cannot truly harm us when we're dwelling in His shelter. Verse 6 continues this theme of comprehensive protection. Nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday. Here we see that God's protection covers every hour of the day and night. There's no moment when you're outside of His care, no time when His watchful eye isn't upon you. The pestilence that stalks in darkness represents those hidden dangers that move in secret, the threats we cannot see or anticipate. Perhaps it's gossip spreading behind your back, plans being made against you without your knowledge, or spiritual attacks that come through deception and lies. These are the dangers that work in shadows, hoping to catch you off guard. But the plague that destroys at midday is different entirely. This is destruction that works boldly, openly, without trying to hide itself. It's the crisis that hits suddenly and obviously, the loss that everyone can see, the trial that plays out in full view of others. Whether the attack comes in secret or in plain sight, whether it creeps in slowly or strikes like lightning, God's protection remains absolute. The 7th verse gives us a promise that might seem almost impossible to believe. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. This isn't saying that you'll never experience difficulties or that life will always be easy. Rather, it's declaring that in the midst of widespread trouble, in the middle of circumstances where others are falling into despair, you can remain standing because of God's protection. Picture yourself standing in a field during a storm. Lightning is striking all around you, but somehow, miraculously, you remain untouched. This is the kind of protection God promises to those who dwell in His shelter. Even when chaos surrounds you, even when it seems like everyone else is being overwhelmed by their circumstances, you can stand firm because you're covered by His presence. This verse speaks to the supernatural nature of God's protection. It's not natural for someone to remain untouched when thousands are falling around them. This is divine intervention, miraculous preservation, the kind of protection that can only come from the hand of the Almighty. It's the same power that kept Daniel safe in the lion's den, that preserved the Hebrew children in the fiery furnace, that protected Paul through shipwrecks and beatings and imprisonment. Verse 8 offers a unique perspective on the fate of the wicked. You will only observe with your eyes and see the punishment of the wicked. This doesn't mean that you'll take pleasure in others' suffering, but rather that you'll witness the justice of God while remaining personally protected from the consequences that befall those who reject His ways. There's comfort in knowing that evil doesn't go unpunished forever, that those who cause harm and spread darkness will ultimately face the consequences of their choices. You don't have to take revenge into your own hands. You don't have to lie awake at night plotting how to get back at those who have wronged you. God sees everything, knows everything, and His justice is perfect and complete. Sometimes it can feel like evil is winning, like those who do wrong are prospering while good people suffer. But this verse reminds us that we're only seeing part of the story. From our limited human perspective, we might miss the full picture of God's justice at work. But those who dwell in His shelter can rest in the knowledge that all accounts will be settled, all wrongs will be made right, and truth will ultimately prevail. Verses 9 and 10 bring us back to the central theme of the psalm, but with an added emphasis on the complete nature of God's protection. If you say, "The Lord is my refuge," and you make the Most High your dwelling, no harm will overtake you, no disaster will come near your tent. Notice the conditional nature of this promise. It begins with, "if you say," and "if you make." This isn't automatic protection that comes whether we want it or not. It's protection that comes as a result of our choice to trust, our decision to make God our dwelling place, our declaration that He is our refuge. The phrase, "no harm will overtake you," is comprehensive in its scope. It doesn't specify certain types of harm or particular kinds of danger. It simply says, no harm. This includes physical harm, emotional harm, spiritual harm, relational harm. Nothing that could truly damage you will be allowed to overtake you when you're dwelling in God's shelter. The promise that no disaster will come near your tent uses imagery that would have been very familiar to ancient people who lived in tents. Your tent was your most intimate space, your place of rest and privacy, your family's safe haven. God promises that disaster will not be allowed to invade your most personal spaces, your places of rest and renewal. This doesn't mean you'll never face challenges or difficulties. It means that nothing will be allowed to touch you that hasn't first passed through God's loving hands. Every trial you face, every difficulty you encounter, every challenge that comes your way has been filtered through His wisdom and love. If He allows it, it's because He knows it will ultimately work for your good and His glory. The 11th verse introduces us to one of the most beautiful promises in all of Scripture, one that reveals the extent of God's care for His children. For He will command His angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. The word command here indicates that this isn't a suggestion God makes to the angels, but a direct order from the throne of heaven. Think about that for a moment. The God of the universe, the creator of all things, specifically commands His heavenly messengers to guard you in all your ways, not just in some of your ways, not just when you're being particularly good or faithful, but in all your ways. Every path you walk, every decision you make, every step you take is under angelic protection because God has commanded it to be so. Angels are mighty beings, created by God for specific purposes. They have power beyond our comprehension, wisdom beyond our understanding, and they move at the speed of God's will. These incredible beings have been given a specific assignment concerning your life: to guard you, to protect you, to watch over you with the same diligence that a bodyguard watches over someone precious and important. Verse 12 continues this theme of angelic protection with an even more specific promise. They will lift you up in their hands so that you will not strike your foot against a stone. This verse paints a picture of such tender, careful protection that even the smallest potential harm is prevented. In the ancient world, striking your foot against a stone was a common occurrence that could cause pain, injury, or even disable someone from walking. It might seem like a small thing, but God's care for you is so complete, so detailed, that He's concerned even about these minor potential injuries. The angels assigned to your protection are instructed to lift you up, to support you in such a way that even these small hurts are prevented. This speaks to the intimate nature of God's love for you. He's not just concerned about the big things, the major crises, the life-threatening situations. He cares about every aspect of your well-being, down to the smallest detail. The same God who commands the stars in their courses is concerned about whether you might stub your toe on a stone. The 13th verse reveals something remarkable about the scope of your protection under God's care. You will tread on the lion and the cobra. You will trample the great lion and the serpent. This isn't just about literal wild animals, though God's protection certainly extends to physical dangers. These creatures represent the most fearsome threats imaginable in the ancient world. The lion was known as the king of beasts, powerful and deadly, capable of destroying with a single swipe of its massive paw. The cobra was feared for its hidden strike, its ability to kill with venom that could end life in moments. Yet God promises that you will not just survive encounters with such dangers, but you will tread upon them. You will trample them underfoot. This speaks to the authority that comes with dwelling in God's shelter. When you make your home in His presence, you don't cower before the threats of this world. You don't live in constant fear of what might happen or who might try to harm you. Instead, you walk with the confidence that comes from knowing whose you are and who fights your battles. The repetition in this verse is significant. It mentions both lion and great lion, both cobras and serpent. This doubling emphasizes the completeness of your victory over every type of threat, whether it comes with obvious power or hidden deception, whether it attacks with brute force or subtle poison. In your life, the lions might be those overwhelming circumstances that seem too big to handle, the financial pressures that roar so loudly you can hardly think of anything else, the health concerns that prowl around the edges of your peace. The serpents might be the lies that whisper in your mind, the deceptions that try to convince you that God has forgotten you, the subtle attacks on your identity and worth. But when you're dwelling in God's shelter, these threats lose their power over you. You may still encounter them, but they cannot destroy you. You may still face difficult circumstances, but they cannot define you. You may still hear the enemy's lies, but they cannot defeat you because you know the truth of who God says you are. Now we come to verses 14 through 16, where something beautiful happens. The voice changes. No longer are we hearing about God's protection in the third person. Now we hear directly from God Himself, speaking His promises over your life with His own voice. Because He loves me, says the Lord, I will rescue him. I will protect him, for He acknowledges my name. The foundation of all of God's protection is love, not your love for Him, though that matters, but His love for you. Your protection doesn't depend on the strength of your faith or the perfection of your obedience. It rests on the unchanging reality of God's love. The word rescue here carries the sense of being delivered from extreme danger, pulled out of a situation that would otherwise be hopeless. It's the same word used to describe how God rescued the Israelites from slavery in Egypt, how He delivered David from the hand of Saul, how He saved Daniel from the lion's den. This is active, powerful intervention by God on your behalf. The phrase, He acknowledges my name, doesn't mean you simply know God's name intellectually. It means you recognize His character, His nature, His authority in your life. When you acknowledge God's name, you're declaring that you know who He is and you trust Him to be who He says He is in your situation. God's name represents everything about His character. When you call on the name of Jehovah Jireh, you're acknowledging Him as your provider. When you call on Jehovah Rapha, you're recognizing Him as your healer. When you call on Jehovah Shalom, you're trusting Him as your peace. Acknowledging His name means you're not just hoping He might help you, but you're confident in who He is and what He's capable of doing. The 15th verse continues with God's personal promises to you. He will call on me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. Notice the certainty in God's voice. There's no hesitation, no qualifying statements, no conditions that might prevent Him from responding to your call. When you call on God, He doesn't check His schedule to see if He has time for you. He doesn't weigh your request against more important matters. He doesn't consider whether you deserve his attention. He simply answers. This is the heart of a loving father who delights in his children, who longs for relationship with you, who has been waiting for your voice to call out to him. The promise, I will be with him in trouble, is profound in its simplicity. God doesn't promise to remove all trouble from your life. What he promises is something far better, his presence in the midst of whatever you face. When trouble comes, and it will come because we live in a broken world, you won't face it alone. The creator of the universe will be right there with you. Think about how this changes everything. When you're in the hospital room receiving difficult news, God is there. When you're sitting at the kitchen table trying to figure out how to pay the bills, God is there. When you're lying in bed at 3 a.m, overwhelmed by anxiety about tomorrow, God is there. His presence transforms every difficult situation from a crisis into an opportunity to experience his faithfulness. The promise to deliver and honor you speaks to both the immediate and the eternal. God will deliver you from the troubles you face, sometimes by removing them, sometimes by giving you strength to endure them, sometimes by using them to accomplish his greater purposes in your life. But he will also honor you, lifting you up, giving you dignity and worth that no earthly circumstance can diminish. The final verse brings this magnificent psalm to a close with a promise that extends beyond this life into eternity. With long life, I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. The word satisfy here means to fill completely, to give abundantly, to provide more than enough. God doesn't just promise to meet your needs, he promises to satisfy your deepest longings. Long life in this context isn't just about the number of years you spend on earth, though God certainly cares about your physical well-being. It's about life that is full, is meaningful, purposeful, life that matters. It's about days filled with his presence, years marked by his faithfulness, a lifetime of experiencing his love and goodness. But the ultimate promise is that God will show you his salvation. This points beyond temporal protection to eternal security, beyond earthly deliverance to heavenly hope. The salvation God shows you includes rescue from sin and death, but it's so much more than that. It's restoration of everything that was lost, renewal of everything that was broken, resurrection of everything that seemed dead. When God shows you his salvation, you see not just what he's done for you, but who he is in his fullness. You see his power that conquered death, his love that paid the ultimate price, his faithfulness that never wavers, his mercy that never ends. You see that every promise in this psalm is backed by the cross, sealed by the resurrection, and guaranteed by his unchanging character. As we come to the end of this beautiful psalm, let these truths settle deep into your heart. You are not at the mercy of circumstances beyond your control. You are not forgotten in your struggles. You are not alone in your fears. You are dwelling in the shelter of the Most High, resting in the shadow of the Almighty, covered by his feathers, protected by his angels, loved by his heart. Tonight, as you close your eyes, remember that God himself has spoken these promises over your life. Every word in this psalm carries the weight of heaven behind it. Every promise is backed by the faithfulness of the one who cannot lie. Every assurance is guaranteed by the love that moved heaven and earth to secure your salvation. The darkness that seemed so frightening when we began is now filled with the presence of your protector. The worries that felt overwhelming are now covered by his peace. The fears that whispered lies are now silenced by his truth. You can rest now, beloved child of God. You can let your weary soul find peace in the promises that will never fail. Tomorrow will come with its own challenges and opportunities, but you will not face them alone. The same God who protected you through today will be your shield tomorrow. The same love that surrounded you in this moment will encompass you in every moment to come. The same promises that brought you comfort tonight will be your strength in the morning light. Rest in the knowledge that these ancient words have become your living reality. Psalm 91 isn't just poetry or wishful thinking. It's the declaration of God's heart toward you, written in Scripture and sealed by His Spirit. Every verse we've walked through together tonight has been speaking directly into your situation, directly into your fears, directly into your need for peace and protection. As you settle into rest, let's take a moment to personalize these promises even further. When the psalmist wrote, "Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High," he was writing about you. When he declared, "You will not fear the terror of night," he was speaking your name. When God Himself promises, "I will be with him in trouble," He's looking directly at your circumstances and making that commitment to you personally. There's something powerful about declaring truth over your life before you sleep. Your subconscious mind continues working through the night, processing the last thoughts you gave it before closing your eyes. Instead of falling asleep to worries about tomorrow or regrets about today, you're going to rest with God's promises echoing in your spirit. These words will work in you even as you sleep, bringing healing to wounded places, strength to weary areas, and hope to discouraged corners of your heart. Let's speak some of these promises out loud together. Don't worry if anyone else can hear you. This is between you and God, and He loves to hear His children declare His truth. Say with me, "The Lord is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust." Feel those words settle in your chest. Feel the weight of their truth anchoring your soul. He will cover me with His feathers, and under His wings I will find refuge. Picture yourself as a small bird, vulnerable and exposed, running to the safety of powerful, protective wings. Feel the warmth, the security, the complete covering that comes when you're hidden under His care. I will not fear the terror of night, nor the arrow that flies by day. Let this declaration push back against every anxious thought, every worried imagination, every fearful scenario your mind might try to create. Fear has no authority over you because you belong to the Fearless One. He will command His angels concerning me to guard me in all my ways. Angels are surrounding you right now as you rest. These mighty beings have received their orders directly from the throne of heaven, and their mission is your protection. You are never alone, never unguarded, never outside the reach of supernatural help. Sleep comes easier when you know you're protected. It's the difference between trying to rest in a house with broken locks and sleeping soundly in a fortress with walls 20 feet thick. Your protection isn't dependent on your own strength, your own wisdom, or your own ability to see danger coming. Your protection flows from the infinite power and perfect love of Almighty God. Some of you listening tonight have been carrying heavy burdens, responsibilities that feel too big for your shoulders. You've been trying to protect yourself, provide for yourself, figure everything out on your own. But Psalm 91 invites you to lay down that impossible weight and rest in protection that comes from above. You don't have to be your own fortress. You don't have to manufacture your own peace. You don't have to solve every problem before you can rest. Others of you have been hurt by people you trusted, wounded by those who should have protected you. Your ability to feel safe has been damaged by betrayal, abuse, or abandonment. Tonight, God is offering you a different kind of safety, protection that can never be taken away because it doesn't depend on human faithfulness. His love never fails. His commitment never wavers. His protection never has gaps or weak spots. Maybe you're facing a specific threat right now, a health diagnosis that has shaken your world, a financial crisis that seems impossible to navigate, a relationship that's falling apart despite your best efforts, a child who's making choices that break your heart. Whatever giant you're facing, Psalm 91 declares that it cannot ultimately harm you because you dwell in the shelter of the Most High. This doesn't mean your circumstances will necessarily change overnight. It means you can face whatever comes from a place of security rather than fear, from a position of strength rather than weakness, from the confidence of knowing whose you are rather than the anxiety of facing life alone. The beautiful thing about God's protection is that it's not just for emergencies. It's not like a spare tire that you only use when something goes wrong. His covering is constant, His presence continuous, His care uninterrupted. Every breath you take is surrounded by His love. Every step you make is watched by His eye. Every tear you shed is collected by His hand. As your mind begins to quiet and your body relaxes into rest, let these truths work their way deep into your spirit. God isn't worried about your tomorrow because He's already there preparing the way. He's not anxious about the challenges you might face because He's already equipped you with everything you need. He's not concerned about your weaknesses because His strength is made perfect in your weakness. The same God who painted every sunset you've ever admired is painting protection around your life. The same hands that carved out the mountains have carved out a place of safety for you. The same voice that spoke the stars into existence is speaking promises of peace over your restless heart. In cultures around the world, mothers have sung lullabies to help their children sleep peacefully. Tonight, think of Psalm 91 as heaven's lullaby, sung over you by your Heavenly Father. Each verse is a gentle melody of love, each promise a soothing refrain of protection, each word a tender reminder that you are cherished beyond measure. Some nights, peace comes easily. Other nights, you have to fight for it, choosing to trust when everything in your circumstances seems to suggest that trust is foolish. Tonight might be one of those fighting nights for you. If it is, know that choosing to rest in God's promises when everything feels uncertain is not denial or weakness. It's one of the bravest things you can do. Faith isn't the absence of fear. Faith is feeling the fear and choosing to trust God anyway. Peace isn't the absence of problems. Peace is finding rest in the middle of problems because you know who holds the solutions. Hope isn't the absence of pain. Hope is believing that your pain has meaning and that healing is coming because you serve a God who specializes in resurrection. Let your breathing slow down now. Feel your heartbeat settling into a calmer rhythm. Release the tight grip you've been holding on your worries, your plans, your need to control outcomes. Open your hands, literally open them, and let go of whatever you've been trying to manage on your own. God's hands are bigger than yours, stronger than yours, more capable than yours. The darkness around you is an empty space. It's filled with the presence of angels, charged with the power of heaven, saturated with the love of God. You're not lying alone in your bed. You're resting in the shelter of the Most High, covered by His wings, surrounded by His protection, held by His love. Every sound you hear tonight, every creak of the house, every whisper of wind, every distant noise is happening under the watchful care of your protector. Nothing moves without His knowledge. Nothing approaches without His permission. Nothing touches your life that hasn't first been filtered through His wisdom and love. Your dreams tonight will be watched over by the one who never sleeps. Your rest will be guarded by the one who never grows weary. Your peace will be maintained by the one whose strength never fails. When morning comes, you'll wake not because you've successfully worried your way through the night, but because you've rested in the arms of perfect love. The promises of Psalm 91 aren't just for tonight. They're not just for this season of your life. They're not just for the big crises or the dramatic moments. They're for every ordinary Tuesday, every routine morning, every mundane evening for the rest of your days. God's protection isn't seasonal or temporary. It's as constant as His love, as reliable as His character, as permanent as His word. As sleep begins to take hold, let those final truths settle into the deepest places of your heart. You are seen by the God who sees everything. You are known by the God who knows all things. You are loved by the God who is love itself. You are protected by the God who has all power. You are held by the God who holds all things together. Tomorrow's worries belong to tomorrow's grace. Tonight's rest belongs to tonight's peace. You have everything you need for this moment, and when you need grace for the next moment, it will be there waiting for you. God's mercies are new every morning, but His protection never takes a night off. Close your eyes now, beloved child of God. Let the weight of His promises settle over you like the softest blanket, the warmest embrace, the safest covering you've ever known. You can rest now because the God who never rests is watching over you. You can sleep now because the one who never sleeps is guarding your peace. You can let go now because the one who never lets go is holding you secure. The terror of night has no power over you. The arrows of day cannot reach you. The pestilence that stalks in darkness cannot touch you. The plague that destroys at midday cannot harm you. Angels have their orders concerning you. God Himself has spoken promises over you. Love has built a fortress around you, and nothing can breach those walls. Rest now in the shadow of the Almighty. Sleep now in the shelter of the Most High. Dream now under the covering of His wings. Wake tomorrow knowing that every promise that protected you through the night will be your strength through the day. The same God who brought you safely through today will carry you gently into tomorrow. You are held, you are loved, you are protected, and you are never, ever alone. Sweet dreams, precious child of God. May the peace that passes all understanding guard your heart and mind as you rest in the unshakable promises of Psalm 91. The morning will come, and when it does, you'll carry these promises with you into the light of day. But for now, in these sacred nighttime hours, let yourself sink deeper into the truth of who God is and who you are to Him. There's something about the quiet darkness that makes His voice clearer, His presence more tangible, His love more real. You know, throughout history, God's people have found that their deepest encounters with Him often happen in the night seasons. Jacob wrestled with the angel through the dark hours until daybreak brought his blessing. David wrote his most beautiful psalms in the wilderness nights when danger surrounded him. Jesus Himself often withdrew to lonely places in the evening hours to commune with His Father. Tonight, you're joining that great company of believers who have discovered that God meets us in our darkest moments with His brightest light. The very time when we feel most vulnerable becomes the setting for experiencing His most powerful protection. The hours when we feel most alone become the sacred space where His presence is most evident. Let your mind wander back through your own life for a moment. Can you remember times when God's protection was so obvious you couldn't deny it? That accident you almost had but somehow avoided? The danger you walked away from without a scratch? The crisis that could have destroyed you, but somehow you came through stronger? Those weren't coincidences or lucky breaks. Those were Psalm 91 in action in your life. Maybe some of those moments seemed small at the time. A decision to take a different route home that you later found out kept you from being in the wrong place at the wrong time. A phone call that came just when you needed encouragement most. A door that closed, protecting you from what would have been a harmful situation. An opportunity that opened just when you needed it most. God's protection often works in ways so natural, so perfectly timed, that we might miss it if we're not paying attention. But tonight, as these promises wash over your spirit, you're beginning to see the pattern. You're starting to recognize the hand of your protector working throughout your story, weaving protection into the fabric of your days, orchestrating circumstances to shield you from harm you never even knew was coming. This realization brings such peace, doesn't it? To know that you haven't just been lucky, but loved. You haven't just been surviving, but thriving under divine care. The God who has protected you all these years isn't going to stop now. His character doesn't change with circumstances. His love doesn't diminish with difficulty. His power doesn't decrease with the passing of time. The same faithful protector who has brought you safely to this moment will continue to watch over you in every moment yet to come. Think about how this truth transforms your perspective on tomorrow. Instead of waking up wondering what might go wrong, you can wake up expecting to see God's goodness. Instead of starting your day with anxiety about all the things you can't control, you can begin with gratitude for the one who controls all things. Instead of facing uncertainty with fear, you can embrace the unknown with confidence because you know who holds your future. This is what it means to live from a place of rest rather than striving. When you truly understand that you dwell in God's shelter, you stop trying to build your own walls of protection. When you really believe that He is your refuge, you stop exhausting yourself trying to be your own safe place. When you genuinely trust that His angels guard you in all your ways, you stop carrying the impossible burden of trying to protect yourself from every potential danger. Living this way doesn't make you passive or irresponsible. It makes you free. Free to take the steps God leads you to take without being paralyzed by fear of what might happen. Free to love others without being controlled by the fear of getting hurt. Free to pursue the dreams He's placed in your heart without being stopped by anxiety about failure. Free to rest without feeling guilty about all the things you're not worrying about. The enemy of your soul would love for you to believe that trusting God's protection is naive, that relying on His promises is foolish, that expecting His care is unrealistic. But the enemy's voice is the voice of deception, and tonight, you're choosing to listen to the voice of truth instead. The truth that has sustained millions of believers through countless dark nights, impossible circumstances, and overwhelming challenges. Your protection isn't based on your ability to pray the right prayers, quote the right verses, or maintain perfect faith. Your protection flows from God's unchanging nature, His unbreakable promises, His unfailing love. Even when your faith feels weak, His faithfulness remains strong. Even when your trust wavers, His trustworthiness stands firm. Even when you forget His promises, His commitment to you never falters. This is why you can rest tonight, even if today was difficult, even if tomorrow looks uncertain, even if your circumstances haven't changed yet. Your peace isn't dependent on having all the answers or seeing how everything will work out. Your peace comes from knowing the one who has all the answers and who's already working everything out for your good and His glory. Let yourself feel the weight of His love settling over you like warm sunlight, penetrating every cold place in your heart, melting every frozen fear, dissolving every hardened worry. His love isn't just an emotion He feels toward you. His love is an action He takes on your behalf every moment of every day. His love builds walls of protection around you. His love sends angels to guard your steps. His love whispers peace to your troubled heart. The night hours can sometimes feel endless when you're struggling with pain, fear, or uncertainty. Minutes feel like hours, and hours feel like days. But even in those long, difficult stretches, you're not enduring them alone. Every second that ticks by is a second held in His hands. Every breath you take is breath He's given you. Every heartbeat is evidence of His sustaining power at work in your life. Sometimes God's protection looks like dramatic rescue from obvious danger. Other times, it looks like quiet strength to endure what cannot be changed. Sometimes it's the miracle that removes the problem completely. Other times, it's the grace that transforms your heart in the middle of the problem. Sometimes it's the healing that restores your body. Other times, it's the peace that guards your mind while your body heals slowly. All of these are expressions of His care, manifestations of His protection, demonstrations of His love. Don't limit God's goodness to only the outcomes you can imagine or prefer. His ways are higher than your ways. His thoughts higher than your thoughts. His protection might look different than what you expected, but it will always be exactly what you need. As your body continues to relax and your mind grows quieter, imagine yourself surrounded by the most beautiful, impenetrable fortress ever constructed. The walls are made not of stone or steel, but of God's faithfulness. The gates are guarded not by human soldiers, but by mighty angels. The foundation is not laid on shifting sand, but on the unshakable rock of his eternal love. Inside this fortress, you lack nothing you truly need. Peace flows like a river through every room. Joy bubbles up like a spring that never runs dry. Hope shines like light that never dims. Love surrounds you like air that never grows thin. You're not a prisoner in this fortress. You're a beloved child in your Father's house, free to rest, free to play, free to dream, free to be exactly who He created you to be. The storms of life may ray outside these walls, but they cannot reach you here. The enemies of your peace may scheme and plot, but they cannot breach this protection. The fears that once tormented you may still exist in the world, but they have no authority in this sacred space where you dwell with the Most High. This isn't just a beautiful metaphor or a comforting thought. This is the spiritual reality of your life in Christ. This is where you actually live, move, and have your being. This is your true address, your permanent residence, your eternal home. You may walk through the world each day, but you never leave this place of protection because it moves with you wherever you go. God's presence isn't confined to church buildings or prayer times or moments of crisis. His presence surrounds you in the grocery store, protects you on your commute, watches over you at work, guards you at home. His angels don't take breaks or work shifts. His love doesn't have office hours or vacation days. His protection doesn't have gaps or weak moments. The same power that raised Jesus from the dead is actively working in your life right now, even as you rest. The same love that moved Him to die for your sins is moving now to provide for your needs, protect your path, and prepare your future. The same faithfulness that has sustained His people through every generation is sustaining you in this generation, in this moment, in this very breath. Tomorrow will bring its own set of circumstances, its own challenges and opportunities, its own reasons to trust and reasons to worry. But you don't have to solve tomorrow tonight. You don't have to figure out next week, right now. You don't have to understand next month in this moment. All you need to do tonight is rest in the promises that cover this moment. And when tomorrow comes, those same promises will be just as true, just as powerful, just as protective as they are right now. Your Heavenly Father isn't pacing the floors of heaven, anxious about how He's going to take care of you. He isn't wringing His hands, wondering if He has enough resources to meet your needs. He isn't worried about whether His plan for your life will work out. He is perfectly at peace about your future because He holds your future in His perfectly capable hands. If the Creator of the universe can rest in His confidence about your life, surely you can rest in His care for your life. If the one who knows the end from the beginning is not anxious about your story, you can release your anxiety about the chapters yet to be written. If the God who holds tomorrow is peaceful about your tomorrow, you can be peaceful about your tomorrow too. The darkness that once felt threatening now feels like a warm blanket of His presence. The silence that once felt empty now feels full of His peace. The unknown that once felt scary now feels like an adventure with the most trustworthy guide in the universe. You're learning to see night not as the absence of light, but as the presence of the one who is light itself. Every star twinkling in the sky above you tonight is held in place by the same hands that hold your life. Every planet spinning in its orbit is sustained by the same power that sustains your heartbeat. Every galaxy wheeling through space is guided by the same wisdom that guides your steps. The God who manages the universe with perfect precision is managing the details of your life with that same perfect precision. This puts everything into perspective, doesn't it? The problem that seemed so overwhelming this morning is actually quite small in the hands of the God who spoke galaxies into existence. The relationship that's been causing you such stress is actually quite manageable for the God who orchestrates the dance of planets around their stars. The financial pressure that's been keeping you awake is actually quite solvable for the God who owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. None of this minimizes the reality of what you're facing or suggests that your concerns don't matter to God. Quite the opposite. It means that the God who has infinite power and wisdom cares enough about your daily struggles to apply that power and wisdom to your specific situation. It means the creator of the cosmos considers your peace important enough to write promises specifically designed to calm your worried heart. As sleep draws nearer, let yourself sink even deeper into the reality of his protection. Feel the tension leaving your shoulders as you release the weight you were never meant to carry. Feel your jaw unclenching as you stop trying to solve problems that aren't yours to solve. Feel your breathing deepening as you remember that the one who breathed life into Adam is breathing life into this moment with you. Your mind has been so busy today, racing from thought to thought, worry to worry, task to task. But now it can rest. Now it can be still. Now it can simply receive the peace that flows from knowing you are completely, utterly, absolutely safe in the hands of perfect love. There's nothing more you need to figure out tonight. Nothing more you need to fix. Nothing more you need to fear. The God who never sleeps is watching over you. The angels who never tire are standing guard. The love that never fails is surrounding you. The peace that passes understanding is filling you. The joy of the Lord is your strength, even when you're too tired to feel joyful. The hope that anchors your soul is holding you steady, even when you're too weary to feel hopeful. Sleep is coming now, gentle and sweet, carrying with it dreams touched by heaven's peace. Your subconscious mind will continue to process these truths throughout the night, allowing them to take root in the deepest places of your heart. You'll wake tomorrow not just rested in body, but renewed in spirit, refreshed in faith, restored in hope. The same God who has watched over you through every night of your life will watch over you through this night. The same love that has never failed you will not fail you now. The same protection that has brought you safely through every storm will carry you safely through whatever weather tomorrow may bring. Rest now, beloved child of the King. Sleep now, precious one who is held in everlasting arms. Dream now under the covering of wings that never grow weary, in the shelter that never fails, surrounded by the love that never ends. You are safe, you are secure, you are protected, and you are deeply, eternally, completely loved. The morning light that will eventually break through your window is already being prepared by the same God who is preparing your path for tomorrow. Even now, hours before dawn, he is arranging circumstances, moving hearts, opening doors, closing off dangers, orchestrating a symphony of protection and provision that will unfold as your day begins. You don't have to worry about whether you'll have what you need when you need it. The God who feeds the sparrows and clothes the lilies has already made provision for every requirement of your coming day. Think about how beautifully this works. While you sleep, completely unaware and unable to contribute anything to the process, God is actively working on your behalf. He's softening hearts that need to be tender toward you. He's hardening hearts that might otherwise cause you harm. He's preparing conversations you'll have, encounters you'll experience, opportunities you'll discover. He's removing obstacles from your path while you're completely unconscious, unable to help or hinder the process. This is what it means to rest in His sovereignty. You can let go of the illusion that your constant vigilance is what keeps your life together. You can release the exhausting belief that if you're not worrying about something, it won't get handled properly. You can abandon the lie that God needs your anxiety to motivate Him to act on your behalf. He's been working while you sleep every night of your life, accomplishing more in your unconscious hours than you could ever accomplish in your most productive waking moments. The beautiful thing about God's nighttime work in your life is that it's always perfectly timed. He doesn't work too early, creating solutions before you're ready to receive them. He doesn't work too late, leaving you hanging when you desperately need His intervention. His timing is always exactly right, calibrated to your spiritual growth, your emotional readiness, your practical circumstances, and His eternal purposes for your life. Sometimes you'll wake up to find that problems you went to sleep with have been mysteriously resolved overnight. Other times, you'll wake with fresh perspective on challenges that seemed impossible the night before. Often you'll discover that you've been given exactly the right amount of strength and wisdom to take the next step, even if you can't see the entire staircase yet. This divine rhythm of working while you rest extends beyond just one night's sleep. God has been orchestrating your protection and provision throughout your entire life, often in ways you never realized. The job opportunity that came at just the right moment, the relationship that ended before it could cause deeper damage, the accident that almost happened but didn't, the illness that could have been much worse, the financial crisis that resolved in an unexpected way. These weren't random occurrences or fortunate coincidences. Your entire life story is a testament to the faithfulness of the God who promises in Psalm 91 to be your refuge and fortress. Every chapter you've lived, every season you've survived, every mountain you've climbed, every valley you've walked through has been under His watchful care. The same protection that has carried you through your past is surrounding you in your present and will guard you in your future. There's something profoundly comforting about recognizing the consistency of God's care throughout your life. The same hands that protected you as a child are protecting you now as an adult. The same eyes that watched over you in your youth are watching over you in your current season. The same heart that loved you before you even knew His name is loving you with that same intensity right now as you rest in His promises. Your life hasn't been a series of random events held together by luck and personal effort. It's been a carefully orchestrated symphony of divine protection with God as the conductor, ensuring that every note contributes to the beautiful melody of His plan for your life. Even the discordant moments, the seasons that felt chaotic or painful, have been woven into a larger composition that displays His faithfulness and love. This perspective transforms how you view not just your future, but your past as well. Those difficult seasons you endured weren't evidence that God had abandoned you. They were proof that He was sustaining you through circumstances that could have destroyed you. Those times when you felt most alone were actually times when His presence was most active, holding you together when everything around you was falling apart. The enemy of your soul would love for you to look back at your painful experiences and conclude that God wasn't there, that He didn't care, that His promises failed you. But tonight, as you rest in the truth of Psalm 91, you can see those same experiences through the lens of divine protection. You didn't just survive those trials by accident. You were carried through them by the same God who promises that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Every scar you carry is evidence of a battle you won with His help. Every tear you've shed has been collected in His bottle, precious to Him because they represent moments when you trusted Him enough to bring your pain to Him rather than hardening your heart. Every fear you've faced has been an opportunity to discover that His perfect love truly does cast out fear. The protection promised in Psalm 91 isn't theoretical or abstract. It's practical and personal, working itself out in the real circumstances of your real life. It's the peace that floods your heart when you remember His promises in the middle of a crisis. It's the strength that rises up in you when you feel too weak to take another step. It's the hope that anchors your soul when everything around you feels uncertain. This protection operates on multiple levels simultaneously. Physically, He guards your body, your health, your safety in ways both obvious and invisible. Emotionally, He shields your heart from wounds that would otherwise destroy your capacity to love and trust. Mentally, He protects your mind from lies that would distort your understanding of His character and His intentions toward you. Spiritually, He covers your soul with a protection so complete that not even death itself can separate you from His love. The comprehensiveness of this protection means you don't have to compartmentalize your trust, believing that God cares about your spiritual life, but not your practical needs, or that He's concerned about your eternal destiny, but not your daily struggles. The same God who secures your salvation is the one who watches over your steps. The same love that rescued your soul is the love that guards your sleep. May the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, settle over you now like the softest covering. As you close your eyes tonight, remember that every word we've spoken together from Psalm 91 is actively working in your life right now. You are held by unshakable promises, surrounded by supernatural protection, and loved with an everlasting love. Sweet dreams, precious child of God, knowing that the same faithful protector who watches over you tonight will be your strength when morning comes.